let's be Franklin, it is February, who's freaking out like me? So, as we all know, Valentine's Day is around the corner, not quite as important as Pancake Day in my opinion, but to celebrate I'm going to show you two Valentine's Day looks. The first is a casual, more day-day kind of look, and the second is this more glam, sultry look, great for an evening day or a night out with your girls. Whatever your plans are for the big day, I hope you have a great one. I'm going to be walking around London hungover on my own as I have a party the night before and a very late train to catch back the next day. If anyone sees me, come over and show me some V-Day love. So without further ado, let's get on to the looks. Get on it like a cat bonnet. So as you can see, I've done my foundation base, my concealer and my eyebrows. If you want to look at that in a bit more detail, then I'll link my everyday makeup tutorial below. So the base is actually the same for both looks because it's just my normal foundation and contour routine. So we're going to start off with the day look, and obviously this is going to be a little bit more of a sort of softer look than the nighttime one, a bit more casual, more of like a first date look or more of a kind of day date. As always, the first thing I'm going to be using is soft ochre paint pot from MAC. Just apply that all over the eyelid up to the brow bone. Come close. Next thing you want to do is set that, and I'm going to be using the Kiko Eyeshadow in 118. Just going to use the same brush. This is like a real nice champagne-y colour, and it's just going to set that primer into place so that we can blend more shadows on top of it. Live like royalty. The next thing I'm going to do is just draw out the shape that I want to create on the outside of my eye, and for that I'm going to be using Naked Smoky palette, and I'm going to be using the shade Combust, just going with a really light hand. I'm now going to go in and deepen up that outer V area and the crease with the colours Rust here and then Warm. I'm going to mix them together and then just create that outer V colour and really darken that area up. Take that all the way into that inner corner as well. And the Zoe over 227 to do this. And a fluffy brush just to blend those edges. So the next thing I'ma do is take this MUA Trio eyeshadow palette, and it's all these like really nice rosy pinky tones, and this was like £4 or something. Like, I'm such a queen for budgets, but I'm going to take this darker one here and just pop that right into the crease. Just going to start adding like a nice shimmery pearlescent finish to the eye makeup. Just bring some of that down into that outer corner as well. Now that eyeshadow's all on, we are going to go back into the Naked Smoky palette and use Dirty Sweet, which is actually my favourite shade from the whole palette. I'm going to use the same brush again and then just use that to create a kind of transition between those darker pinky shades and into the lid. But don't bring it all the way into the lid. Just kind of pat it into the middle section of the eye. So pretty. Love it. So pretty. I love it. So you can see there we've just added that bronzy colour into the middle, so it's creating a nice transition. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to take a really flat packing brush and use the shade 13 from the Naked Smoky palette. I'm just going to press that onto that inner corner and the sort of centre of the lid, just to create a really light canvas and highlight that area. Don't be afraid. A good idea if you had a bit of shadow fall down from the crease work that we were doing earlier, which I have. Just pack that colour on and then take the same shadow brush that you were using for everything else and make sure that that Dirty Sweet colour is just blended in. Now I'm going to take that MUA palette again and be using this lightest colour here, which is a really light shimmery rosy pink. I'm going to take that packing brush again and I'm just going to add that on top of where we've just applied 13. Then I'm also going to take High from the Naked Smoky palette, which is this pinky glimmer highlighter over here, and I'm going to do the same with that. So as you can see, we've got a really nice gradient from those darker colours and into the bronzy colours and then the light pink in the corner. Finally, I'm just going to take the Vivid Baked highlighter from Makeup Revolution into that inner corner area. I'm just going to use a pencil brush. I'm going to go quite hard on this highlighter, to be honest. Just want to pop it into that inner corner and then blend it upwards. We're the things that we could be. So we're going to move on to the lower lash line now, and we just want to take the same rust and warm colours that we used before and just layer those onto the bottom lash line. I'm just going to use a Smoky smudger brush for that one. I'll sing to you like a radio. Then we just want to take a bit of Dirty Sweet and just do the same thing again. And then finally that darker colour in the MUA palette. Just keeping that one on the outer sort of corner area. I just want to curl my lashes. Hello there. Ow, 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 ow. Now we just want to apply some mascara. You can pop lashes on if you want, but because I'm using this as like more of a day look, I'm going to save the lashes for later. Just a smidgen on the bottom lashes, we don't want to go too much. And onto the top. So the eyes are all done now. As you can see, it's just kind of a bronzy, pinky, quite light eye makeup look. Romantic, glowing eye. Next we want to go into the cheeks, and I'm going to be using Hoola for my powder contour. And then I'm going to use a matte blush, and this is the Makeup Revolution single palette blush in the colour Now, and it's just a really nice pretty matte pink. I'm going to use a Real Techniques buffing brush to apply that. Just take it into the apples of the cheeks to give you kind of nice romantic flush. And then I'm going to take the peachy coloured highlight here from the Makeup Revolution Golden Sugar Blush palette, and I'm just going to sweep that onto the tops of my cheekbones. So we've got a nice little glow going on there now. I'm just going to finish off with the lips. I'm going to use the Topshop lip primer. Now this one's really similar in my opinion to the MAC Prep and Prime, but it's not as expensive. The reason I'm using a primer on my lip is because I'm going to be using a matte lip. For the lip, I'm going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury Matte Revolution lipstick in Miss Kensington, which I believe was a limited edition shade, but it's just kind of like a peachy, dusty rose kind of colour. In darkness when there's no more light that you can see. And finally, I'm just going to set with the L'Oreal Infallible Fixing Mist. Need to give this one a really good shake. And there we go, that is our day look for you. Don't be afraid, I'll be the one to guide you through this endless maze. Don't look so sad, you're crying, eyes won't dry. You gotta drive with both headlights so we can see the world and we'll run away together like So, onto the night look. First thing you'll notice is I've taped my eyes here. Now this is the most uncomfortable feeling ever, I promise you, but it will be worth it because we will have the most beautiful fierce wings ever. So again, I've still got the same base on. I have taken all my concealer off underneath because we're going to want to wipe away underneath there in case there's any fallout, obviously, because this is a bit of a darker, more glam look. So first off, just tape your bad boy eyes up. It's better to use like a micro pour tape for this, but I just have like frosted gift wrap tape. We're going to start off in exactly the same way, using soft ochre again. Next thing I want to do is take the picked up the wrong pot. Cream Crush in the colour number 3, and this is a similar product to Paint Pot, but it's the darker sort of almost kind of pinky browny colour, I would say. I'm just going to use the same brush that I used for my Paint Pot. I'm going to take that into the upper crease and outer V area. This is essentially priming for darker colours. I'm going to go in with Floor, which is the really light shade, and I'm going to pop that into the inner corner area and onto the brow bone. So I'm going to take this shade here, which is called Olden, and it's kind of like a mauvey dark brown. I might mix a little bit of the colour underneath it, which is called Earth, which is also a slightly darker version of that. I'm going to pop those onto where I put the Cream Crush product. So you're just darkening that up and creating a kind of wing with the shadow. Just going to take a bit of the Earth colour, which is the darker one I mentioned before, and just pop that right into that outer crease area there. So next I'm going to use Radar, which is this dark bronzy brown shade. I'm going to use the same brush as always and pop that into the crease. Just make sure you work that all the way into that inner crease, because we want the sort of cut crease look. We want to take the packing brush that we used before and use that same technique of using a lighter shade just to define that cut crease colour. So the wonderful games that Live plays, I just realised all that footage was out of focus. So you can see that I just used the darker colours to create a bit more of a cut crease look, and then use the lighter one to just carve that area out. It's winging out towards the brow here, and then we've got the sort of gradient of the darker colour up into the lighter brow bone shade. I've just taken High from the Naked Smoky palette and added that onto the lighter area of the lid. Next I'm going to use the Vivid Baked Highlighter in Golden Lights from Makeup Revolution, and I'm going to do the same thing that I did in the last one, but I'm going to bring it more onto the lid. So just into that inner corner, and then all the way onto the lid. Don't be afraid, I'll be the one to... Just blend that right onto the lid in with that High colour we added. There's a lot of glimmer going on right now, I love it. I love it. So I'm going to be moving on to liner now. I'm going to be using the Laura Mercier gel liner in Noir. This is my absolute favourite liner. To add a little bit onto my brush and then use the lid just to make sure that there's not too much product on there. Now, what we're first going to do is just going to line from about a third of the way into the eye to that tape boundary that we've made for ourselves. Now obviously having the tape here is going to make the wing a lot crisper and a lot easier to do, so we don't have to worry about it too much. Just using an angled liner brush to do this. Come close to me, I'll whisper in your ear the things that we could be. You can see we've now got to the point where the tape meets the eye, so we're just gonna drag it up that tape line. You were clothed in, we could live like royalty. Oh, this wing is long. I don't think I expected it to be that long. I'm going to do the second one off camera because that was too stressful for my liking. So that was an ordeal, I have to say, guys, but I've peeled the tape back. The eyes are as good as I'm going to get them. We all have to bear in mind that we do have different shaped eyes, so your eyeliner, I think it is impossible to make it look exactly the same on either eye, but I think I've done a pretty good job, pretty proud of myself. So now we're going to conceal under the eyes. I'm going to be using the Last Imperfection from Collection concealer, and that's in the colour Fair. Just going to apply that all under the eye area. Ooh. Just going to use my beauty sponge to blend that in. Just going to take my Smoky smudger and use the what the hell was that colour called? Just going to use the Olden colour underneath my eyes just to smoke out that lower lash line. Then use Earth, which is the darker one below it that we use as well. Instead of using the radar colour, I'm going to use my Kiko Colour Sphere in the shade 5. This is just a really gorgeous browny glittery shade and I love it. So I'm just going to use that right on that lash line area. So for the cheeks we are going to be going in with Hoola again, just to contour those cheeks out a little bit. I'm just going to use this darker blusher combined with a bit of this one. This is the Makeup Revolution palette that was in my haul video the other day. And I'm just going to use a little bit of Glow from Topshop in the colour Gleam, which is like this goldy bronzy colour. Take a little bit onto my finger, pop it on my hand first because it's quite an intense product. You don't want to like go straight onto the face with it. And I'm just going to dab that right onto those cheekbones. Just like the kind of golden dewiness that it gives to your skin. Don't be afraid, just a nice sort of quite a natural highlight really. For the lips, I'm just going to use one of the Kiko lip liners. This is in the colour 712. I'm just going to line the lips and fill them in. And then my theory with lipstick for dates and things like that, if it's a nighttime one, I mean you might have had a couple of drinks, you might be feeling a little bit more, you know, lip wise, is keep it quite light, keep it quite nude, and also find something that's going to wear really well. So I mean if you're going to go in for a kiss, you want something that's going to have worn quite well, that's going to still keep you with like a natural nice lip colour. Something that you can top up easily if you want to. I've actually gone for a gloss. Now I never go glossy, but in this case I thought it was a really good idea. So I've gone for the L'Oreal Paris a lip gloss, and this is in the colour 103, which is a Protest Queen. We could be. I'll drown us in the purple drapes that you were clothed in. We can live like royal. So it's just a nice glossy finish. Finally, I'm just going to finish off the eyes. I'm going to put a little bit of mascara on first. Lash Sensational by Maybeline as well. Now I'm going to pop some lashes on. Now I'm not the lash wearing type. Like I never wear them. I'm not very good at putting them on and they kind of scare me a bit. So I've gone for slightly more natural ones than maybe a lot of people would. The Tanya Burr Cosmetics Bambi eyelashes. They're pretty much just a really natural lash, but I just think they're really really pretty and they'll just add like that little bit extra to this look. It's probably the third time in my whole life I've worn lashes, so y'all better appreciate these. How do I even get the lid off the glue? Someone here to put lashes on for me. Ooh! Oh, okay, that's how that works. Well, I've got glue all over my finger. This is excellent. think that's where it's supposed to go, Chloe. Oh, I've got it on my jeans. Not even got the lashes off the thing yet. How do you know which one's right and which one's left? Oh. Glue on lashes. Glue on lashes. What if I ruin the whole thing now? Okay, just in case I ruin the whole thing. This is the finished look. Okay, so I think I've actually got eyelashes on. This is very, very exciting. I don't want to like move or close my eyes just in case they just like fall off. So finally, we just want to set that makeup with the L'Oreal Infallible Fixing Mist. Give it a good shake. This is the evening look. A little bit more sexy, a little bit more sultry. I'm really happy with this look. Great for a night out, great for a date, great for anything you fancy really.
No more light that you can see.
So guys, I hope you enjoyed this Valentine's Day look tutorial. Whatever your plans are for the big day, whether it be going on a date with your other half or hanging out with friends, I hope you enjoy yourself and I'll see you all next time.
Don't be afraid.